I'm Matt Carey, documentary editor at Deadline, and we are in the Deadline studio at the Toronto International Film Festival with the director Thom Zimny. His movie is Road Diary, Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. Congratulations on your latest collaboration with Bruce.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
You go way back with him. Tell me about the origins of this film. It's really about getting the band back together.
Right. This film starts in a very classic, I would say, Bruce way, which is you get a phone call and he says, I'm getting the guys back together, drop in some rehearsals and do some filming. And what happened quickly was I saw that there was a story there and he had me return, and every day there was some new adventure going on as they started to find themselves after not playing for so many years.
Right, because COVID, of course, for all musicians and live performers had sidelined them. I mean, obviously worldwide impact on everyone, but maybe people don't realize, I mean, this is like oxygen for somebody like Bruce Springsteen and the other E Street Band members. To go without that is kind of devastating.
Well, I knew right away that the idea of music being taken away from both the audience and Bruce and the band would be something to chase. That theme in itself, I just knew that these guys grew up in bars, and just seeing them back together, put on the guitars, give this hug, start playing the first song, laughing. I just chased that theme throughout. And then Bruce's set list reflected a lot of these ideas. The set list of being aware of where we are in the world in the moment, the time he spent with the band, the idea of mortality is in a lot of the songs and the writing. I didn't want to make a film that would be a traditional tour film. I wanted to be in the space of looking at Bruce, the history, his fan community, and this idea of music in the moment, especially now, being a powerful force, a healing force, coming out of COVID or wherever we are in the space. And when I went on tour with him, I could see those things happen. I could see a crowd. I could see in the eyes of people an expression that reminded me that we needed this. So I chased that as a filmmaker and went after images that conveyed that as much as I could.
It really offers a lot of insight, I think, into a live performance. But I learned so much about the creation of a set list. I mean, I think a lot of concert goers, even if, say, they're Bruce Springsteen fans or Rolling Stones or whoever it may be, think, oh, all right, this is what they're playing tonight. Yeah, great, glad they're... This is a narrative, particularly for this show, and so there's a real arc to what he is doing with this show.
When you're witnessing Bruce put together a set list, you have to step back and think, like, what is going on? What is going on with this song that I've known for years, put up against this new song after the world that we've experienced? What happens is that you watch Bruce the storyteller in this movie, and he pieces together an emotional arc. And a lot of the Bruce shows have so many different feelings. You go to the place of humor, you go to the place of reflection. I wanted the movie to have elements of that, and Bruce's tonal changes are in those songs, and he's a master storyteller that way. By putting two songs together, he creates a new feeling, and he gives you this, constant. It's a journey, the set list, and watching him put it together was fascinating. It was very subtle. We never discussed it, and what the beauty of working with him for the past 24 years and with this film is that the band and Bruce forgot about me. So I was a fly on the wall in that sense of being able to capture the creative process. And for that, I'm super grateful because it's hard to get.
You talk about a poignant element of the film. This is of mortality. He's 74 years old now and obviously doing great. I mean, he puts on one hell of a show, as anyone has seen him live. And it's not only, his own eventual mortality, but those other band members like Clarence Clemens who are not there anymore and who are just, the relationship was so deep. And so there's that loss as well.
I wanted this feeling of, like, we would have Bruce's voice come into the film. He would tell you things as if you were, sitting across from him in a bar, where he would reflect on the past or having one foot in the moment, but also, just looking back at band members like Clarence or the power of E Street history. I wanted to go in and out of those different worlds. And one of the things I was able to do with Road Diaries is open up the vault and look for things. And I found footage that I've never used in any other film, and then found stills and found archival clips of the band. And it what happens is that it brings you into this dream space, because it's a dream space of E Street history, E Street past. So you get to see Clarence Clemens and Danny, who are no longer with us, but are sonically in those shows every single night. The element of the sax and that E Street sound, it's there every night. They're honored every night. So I've been really lucky with this film because I spent a lot of time with the band, talked to them. They got to bring up stories and E Street history that I just never heard before. And they really were really gracious with digging into a lot of the details of the past. And for me, it opened up a new door of filmmaking.
One thing I found fascinating as well is he's discussing really the magic of a live interaction with the audience. And he's one of the greatest songwriters ever in rock and roll or any genre of music. But he's saying you don't really know the possibilities of a song until you play it live. That's fascinating.
Bruce's writing is incredible because the voiceover in the film he would send to me by text. And sometimes I would respond back and send him visuals of what I saw. So my creative collaboration with him has been this way since day one, which is there's a back and forth. And sometimes I would send him a series of photographs or images that I shot and just give him an idea of what I see in it. And he would come back with a voiceover. And I would open it up and start all over again. And then you add score to it. So, Bruce's reflection at times in these voiceover moments, especially about new music, you realize that it's something that he's thinking a lot about, he's really aware of, and it's been going on for so long. This is the same commitment and dedication that I see the band and Bruce in footage from 1974, 75. Things, it's the same guys. It's the same dedication to, every single night, taking the audience on that journey. And I hope the film conveys that.
Yes, and it's beautifully written. I mean, it's powerful. His words, and very, just crafted. I mean, this is really, as you say, a master storyteller.
Yeah, thank you. And I do think he's a master storyteller. And I think that I wanted to keep away from just any of the cliches of the rock and roll film, where it's just, the lights getting set up and talk about, the certain things. I wanted to find a band leader. I wanted to remind you that when you go to the live show at Bruce, that there's a lot going on. There's a lot of invisible details. It's a band leader who's thinking, it's an artist who has a journey, and he's sharing in this communal moment a whole array of emotions. And it's not random. That's I hope what Road Diary gets across is, if whether you're a casual or the uber fan, that you can step into it and see this process with the artist.
You are premiering at Toronto. Where are fans going to get to see this movie eventually?
Well, the film is going to be streamed on Hulu and Disney on October 25th, and I hope everyone does exactly what Bruce has said to me before we screen something in the edit room, which is turn it up, play it loud. So I hope they enjoy it.
Well, it's fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us, Thom Zimny.
Thank you.